Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to our Spanish playthrough in EU4 MEIOU and Taxes mod. With me, your host, Luckymarine. I've been assessing where we're at so far. I think if I was to do it all again, not that we're anywhere near the end of the game, we've still got another 400 years to go, but if I was to do it all again, I don't think I'd enter North Africa. It would make the game a little more boring because we'd just be sat in Spain doing normal. Although no, in a normal game you'd be to and fro in with France and taking stuff off them, wouldn't you? It was a very odd thing that we managed to get the personal union over France, who now has debt. I mean, we have been siphoning lots of income from them, but still, yeah. The stuff in North Africa has just caused us more problems than it's been worth, really. Although, we're now taking humanist. Our rebel factions have all but disappeared. Anyway, onwards. And we need to take Pobinho back, who is owned by Pisa. Who is mates with Austria, and Austria will bring in just Fiume. However, we have a France. So let's go for it. We will heavily restrict looting. We want this land for ourselves. Edict of Regensburg. 'Tis a historic day for Christendom. Lords and bishops from across Mecklenburg-Schwerin. Isn't the German W pronounced a V? So Schwerin. Arrived at the assembly of Regensburg. They watch solemnly as 25 books were collected in front of the Prince Elector. Turned to their author, a Wendish monk from Wismar, the Roman prelate prosecuting his case, demanded to know what? The Roman prelate prosecuting his case demanded to know if he would recant them. All right, okay. So this is the monk that's been causing all this trouble, who's about to turn people to Protestantism, and then we're going to get the counter-reformation that happens, and it's going to be good. In response, the monk admonished the prince-elect, telling him not to condemn the word of God. The prelate demanded whether he rejected the authority of the church council, which he had declared. It's the morning time, and I really cannot read, even worse than usual. Had declared his work heresy, and the monk replied simply, "Here I stand, I cannot otherwise, God help me, amen." I think we've seen this one before. He is now undeniably an unrepentant heretic, and the penalty for that is death for him and for those who follow him. The prince-elect then announced the Edict of Regensburg. No one shall dare by word or by deed to receive, defend, sustain, or favour the heretic monk on penalty of death. Any who wish to support him must now do so secretly. Right. We're siding against the church in the Reformation, and our Castilian provinces are likely to follow suit. Now, historically, Spain was like best mates with the Pope, wasn't he? I mean, Spain spread Catholicism throughout South America. And Catholicism has been the tool that we used to drive the Moors out of Spain in not that recent history. Not that far off history even. So it's still going to be fresh in the mind of the people. It'll only be a few generations ago when the Moor Empire, kind of caliphate even, stretched all the way up here. And then the Spanish got together and drove them back out. And we still have borders with Muslims. So I think those that are on the very edge of Christendom have a vested interest to keep Mr. Pope Man happy. Those that are never going to be under threat of any other religion coming and raping and murdering and pillaging, they can descend into whatever heresies they want. But I think for us, I think we try to stay Catholic as much as we can. So we'll ban his writings from our lands. I'd like to play someone in the HRE. Maybe Bohemia's gone. Maybe Bohemia, someone like that. Maybe Brandenburg or Trier, maybe even Ulm. Or someone that I've not played before. There are plenty of extra on the siege. Oh, good. There are plenty of extra countries that have been added. Paderborn is a country in itself, and it's a bishopric, no less. Like armed forces base, British armed forces base over in Paderborn. Anyway, yeah, and go that way and get involved with the religious uprising. Who else are we at war with? Siena as well. We might be able to take bits off Siena. Can we walk to you? We can. Let's go and try and... Alright. No, you took it on 21%. Although if we get there quick enough, before the garrison sorts itself out, and give you a blockade. We may convert. Good. Excellent. We've won the siege. Oh, yeah. If you get there quick enough, then the garrison doesn't replace itself. And you can get through. The siege ticks are very, very quick. Let's go down to speed 4, because speed 5 whilst we're at war is a little bit silly. And we'll try to take this off Siena as well. What's the province? It has a... it doesn't have the lack of natural harbour. Which is good for us. Has a road. Excellent. And we can separately piece out Siena. So I think we will concentrate on Siena down here. I still don't want Milan taken though. Oh wow. Of course we're a little bit behind on military tech, aren't we? Still, that was a little bit more painful than I would have liked. France, are you getting involved in this? Yeah, he's getting involved in this. Fiume is on medium. Can we just get you out? Fiume is down here. How much money do you have? Would it be worth it? No. Well, you can get out for free if you want. Whenever you want. I will sit here and we will take... Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll focus out Siena. Try to take this province. Yeah. We wanted a Piombino back because we built this fishing port so that we could then build a camp. We were in the middle of building a council building as well. What is it? One of these town halls, commune hall, town hall, just so that we could get the next level up on fishing port. I think it's called the trade wharf, but we can't build it. Can we build it here? We can't build it here for some reason. We couldn't build it here, but we could build it in Piombino. So we started building it up in Piombino anyway. We can build you though. Let's build you now. We went contacts in the Holy See. Do you want another cardinal? Not really. I'd rather have the 100 admin. We started building the trade wharf here in Piombino, the first level trade wharf, but it wasn't allowing us to in Livorno. I did wonder why. It was a little bit like this setup. where we had the commune hall, but we just couldn't get the trade wharf Mark 1. And then I put it down to the fact that there's a lack of natural harbour, so we came down to look at Livorno. It doesn't have the lack of natural harbour, but we still couldn't get this. And we couldn't get the commune hall either. For some reason we couldn't build it. But we could in Pombino, so we started along that path. But now we can, in Livorno. I don't know. It needs to be a little bit more transparent in why we can't do things sometimes. And we're a little bit behind on military tech because we've been dumping points into naval ideas. We've been dumping points into naval ideas because... Ooh, Todd's Fairy's X gone then. Because in order to get to exploration, you need naval ideas. And at some point we are going to have to take administrative. Even though administrative ideas are, I think, a little bit crap, they do lead to empire, which apparently is quite good. Expansion, which is only going to be good for us. But yeah, if you think historically, I think I mentioned this before. If you think historically, everything from everywhere from, say, the Vikings all the way through to late explorers such as maybe the Dutch, they all... Oh, here we go. Excellent. So they've got... No, this is a Shadow Kingdom that has hit. Excellent. Yeah, everyone through to the Dutch had a well-established navy. Maybe not so much a well-established navy, but an element of the society that was skilled at seafaring. Anyway, Shadow Kingdom has hit, which now leaves us free to eat into here. I mean, we've already got a foothold, but it allows us to eat into here without Austria getting involved, and without quite so much aggressive expansion. So we'll do that. We don't want to be pissing off the Pope too much, so we'll probably not take his lands. We could probably fight this and win, but I'm concentrating on trying to force Siena out first. That's only going to happen if we actually take his shit. Austria's at low. Can we get you out? I don't know. These are red flagged, which means they can be separately pieced out. If I piece out with Austria, do I piece out also with Pisa? Or are the red flags just denoting the fact that they're not a co-belligerent? What is this? Papal Stevers changed by plus 25. Game 1 prestige. We'll go for this then. Do we not have someone locked on the Popey man? We should do. The higher the opinion of the Pope man, the more points you get. The more points you get, and the more the church will contribute to your education of the people. Annual church contribution here. And the higher you can force your papal influence, the more they will donate. We're donating about 88 ducats, they're donating about 85. It all comes out of here. Got an education expenses, I don't know why it's on there 3 times. Oh, stop. General Church Council. General Church Council happened to us. Stability increase, yearly prestige, diplo relations -1. What? Our troops report, papal sponsor weak. Papal sponsor happened to us. Missionary strength goes up, yearly prestige goes up, diplo reputation goes up. Why? What happened? Ooh! That's because we are the Curia controller. Superb. We can call for a crusade and we can excommunicate. Do we get anything more? Anything special? We get an extra diplomat, yearly prestige, stability increase interval, advisor costs go down by 20%. We get more possible advisors. Tech cost goes down. Nice. Probably access to the Vatican libraries. Doing that. Leaders value upkeep +1 and our aggressive expansion impact is -20. That is a huge, huge number, and I will be happy to take that. What do we send them to do? Try to reform Simony. Absenteeism? Absenteeism. Go on then. Not quite sure what that event does. I'm not quite sure what discussing those events does. But we'll find out. Church reform of untrained priests. Require each diocese that to build a seminary. Change seminaries with 6 what? Demand bishops supervise the diocese. Reduce papal influence. Papal states gets reform tensions given the following effects: national unrest +4. But that's just in the papal states. Although large cities often had cathedral schools where future priests received a classical education alongside noble scions, more rural parishes often had little access to schooling and little money to send a priest away for several years. Instead, local nobles appointed priests, and these priests trained their successors personally. This was simple but led to uneducated priests who sometimes couldn't even read Latin. It was no wonder that these rural parishes could become centres of heresy. In theory, the fault lay in local bishops, whose task was to oversee the priests in their parishes, probably. I think parish and diocese. I think that rings a bell. Diocese. I think they're both similar. I think they're almost the same. I think one came about from the other, parish and diocese. But in practice, they were often suffering from the same problems. It may require several reforms to eradicate this entrenched practice. The higher church reform desire is, the more effective reforms will be. However, it requires papal influence to push the harshest reforms forward. Well, yeah, we don't want hotbeds of heresy. I mean, we want our dudes to be able to speak Latin. We need to be able to impress the plebs. Go on then. Come on, take the damn thing. Hamburg has been placed under interdict. Probably means that they have flipped to another religion. You're up here, aren't you? Bremen, Friesland, Hamburg, there we go. Yep, they flipped to Protestant. What does Protestant give you? More missionary strength, tech cost -5%, tolerance of true faith, tolerance of your own faith goes down. Yearly legitimacy, idea cost, that's quite nice actually. And monthly autonomy change. What do we get? Interest goes up. Missionary share +1, possible advisors, diplo relations +1, max promoted cultures +1, admin, tech cost. I like Protestantism better, if I'm honest. That doesn't affect us. Nope, stop. No, that doesn't affect us. Still doesn't affect us. So we won, and yet we lost Siena. How about you get out for that? It's not a lot of aggressive expansion, is it? Ooh. Now they've dropped out of the Empire. Now that they've dropped out of the HRE, we're going to be able to take quite a bit off Siena, I think. Okay, not good. And you want out. Let's go for war reparations. All of you 50 ducats. Don't know where you got that from, but that's nice. Keep that alliance, it'll keep you safe. And rivalry with them, just to give us a little bit more prestige. And that, again, more prestige. Guild claims, more prestige again. That'll do. There you go. And Sienna. Someone's called for a crusade. I thought we could only do that. Unless we've lost. No, we're still a career controller. So who's called for a crusade? We're the ones that call for crusades. We are the ones that knock. Anyway, Pombino. Your siege takes are at 17 days because you've recently been taken. You're 8 days. No. Why? Spanish defensiveness. Minus 25%. Why is our defensiveness so low? Why is our defensiveness so low? Oh no, anyway, Sienna. You could say that chances are we wouldn't be able to, yeah. There's no way that we'd be able to take Sienna itself. So we'll make do with that. We'll also grab war reparations. Yeah, give up claim. No, no, maybe not then. Release nation? No. Return core? No. No treaties. I'll do. Oh yeah. Fine. Okay. Yeah, the news doesn't affect us. Church reform of Simony. After Clement V reorganized the church, the Pope gained the right to appoint bishops to their benefices. When a bishop died, the benefice returned to the Pope. An unforeseen effect was to encourage simony or payment to return for church titles. Ah, I see. This practice excluded peasants from the highest ranks of the church and placed a burden on debt on bishops that caused many to tax their tenants harshly. As the practice grew widespread, it caused a backlash against the church. So, jobs for mates, really? A bit like politics. It may require several reforms to eradicate this entrenched practice, the high church reform desires, etc. Yeah. Let's try and put pressure on to get rid of that kind of crap. It's just the same. So what did we win from that? What did we get? 5 pop, 3 pop. That farming efficiency is nice though. And a mine complex. What have you found? You haven't found anything just yet. And we have won the siege of Pombino. I like this. And what else? We couldn't take this, could we? Hit Italy from both sides. I mean, it's not in the HRE. They couldn't demand it back. You're not either. Do you want to be over here? Why the hell not? These will no longer exist after the war. Yeah, I don't think I can separately piece out Austria. I think I have to do it all as one go, which is unfortunate. Do I want to be all the way over here? What do you offer? It's Catholic, it's Croatian. Where does the empire end? So we won't be able to expand that way, I don't believe. Oh, we got France. So yeah, we would be able to. What about in terms of trade? Whereabouts are you? A little bit of the Genoa node, and then we get into Upper Danube. What's this? Lower Danube. Can we really get adjacent to your capital? Looks like we can. Then we go for this. It might be hard to keep hold of, but from here we're going to attack down the coast this way. Try to take more of the Genoa node. And then if we probably will end up going trade ideas. We can have someone collecting the Genoa node, someone collecting in the Ragusa node. Ragusa. Someone collecting the Venetian node, someone collecting in the Genoa node. And then probably move our trade capital over. It depends. Still got plague knocking about. And these little buildings here means that a great noble has built a building. The purple ones mean that I think they're using money from this location to build in other places. Significant amount of power and influence. In other words, it's too expensive to build here, so the people that are here are lending money to provinces around them so that they can build. What's the blue one? Metropole aided this province. I think this is where we built a road with the aid of rural wealth. And the yellow ones. Lesser nobles, the green ones. Province built building, yeah. So it's just evidence of your empire growing without you chucking money into it. This is them using their wealth, the estates using their wealth, as is evident just here, which is fairly fucking cool. Anyway, yeah, the peace process. I think I want that. I think that I'm not going to risk separate piecing out Austria and it somehow stopping the entire war. But if needs be, we will hold back the Ottoman menace. Okay, fine. Plus, we need to grow in terms of population. We need to outgrow a France that will be integrating his vassals. Everything that's internal of France, apart from this country here, is pretty much part of France, and he'll centralize and he'll start to gobble these guys up, and it's not going to be good for us if we're not big enough. By the time that happens, his limited desire is going to go through the roof, and he'll probably get supported by Austria if we don't cut them down to size quick enough. Yeah, I don't think Austria likes us too much after that. Okay. So what did we win? What are you doing? What you? Oh, come on then. You silly cat. So what did we win? 9 population. Already Catholic. Good. Producing wine. Nice. I can't believe they allowed us all the way adjacent to their capital. And this isn't in the HRE. So you can't demand it back. Nice. We've got a 18 population, one with an upper class that produces cows. 10 pop hemp, 11 pop wheat, 1 pop wood, and 2 pop wine again, I think. Okay. Okay, let's go. Next fight. Next fight is probably going to have to be Lucca. Although, what's our aggressive expansion around here now? It's a little high. Dylan, what are you doing? I'm not letting you get in my wardrobe because you end up shedding your hair everywhere. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is where I'm going to leave it for today. I've been Luckymarine. As always, you lot have been amazing. Shadow Kingdom has hit, therefore we are trying to take advantage of... Enough. Of the fact that we can eat this stuff with well, we can eat it without the massive amounts of aggressive expansion that we used to get before. So wait for this a bit of aggressive expansion to wear off. Dylan, enough. I will play with you in a little bit, okay? And we'll try and get into the Italian states where there's a lot of population. That will boost our money making potential. And we're also over here, which I really didn't expect, but we're there now. Who's this? Hungry? Guaranteed by Venice. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, till next time. Do take care.